Welcome back. Sorry, I'm later than I anticipated. I wanted to start at 1:45. I was having some problems with the computer, but praise the Most High, I think we've got that solved. So, welcome back. We're going to continue our study in the book of Genesis. We finished 4 days of the creation. We have went through the first 4 days. Welcome back. We have finished. We went through the first 4 days of the creation, finishing with the fourth day in Genesis chapter 1. And in the fourth day, we saw that the Father gave us a calendar. He gave us a calendar in the fourth day. Well, what do I mean, a calendar? He gave us the sun, the moon, the stars. He divided the lights between darkness and light. And he put lights in the air, in the sky, above the firmament, he says, for signs, for years, for days, for months. He put them in the sky. In fact, let's go from where we stopped in Genesis chapter 1 and starting in the fourth day. And Yah said, let there be, and again, that's how he starts everything. He said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. And let them be, that is the lights in the firmament of the heaven, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. So he put signs in the firmament of the heaven. The firmament is the water above the heaven. Water above. So there's water above us, above the sky. And above that, he put lights. So the lights are shining through water. Think about that. So the lights are shining from above us through water. And he said those lights that are shining, he said, dividing the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yah made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And Yah set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light to the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Yah saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. So he put a body of water above the earth. And above that body of water, or he says in it, he shows lights. And the lights divide what's daytime from what's nighttime. The lights show us what times of the year it is, what seasons it is. The lights show us all of these things. Now, after the flood, which we're going to, of course, read about, we can see that there's extremes in temperature that tell us the seasons. So winter is cold, summer is hot, right? Spring and fall are generally moderate. And you can tell when it's cold and moving into moderate, it's spring. When it goes from moderate to hot, is summer. Hot back to moderate is fall. And then moderate back to cold is winter. That's extremes. But there wasn't always extremes. There wasn't always extremes. Okay. So prior to that, you could just look in the heavens and tell seasons by what the lights told you in the heavens. You still could do that. And we're discovering that now. You still could do that when you look at the heavens and you look at the stars and you look at the lights. Yeah, that's right. It could all happen in one day here too, and then most places. But that's also a sign of the nature being out of course. Isn't that correct? We're seeing signs of nature being out of its course. We are seeing signs of flooding and hurricanes and tornadoes and earthquakes, as the Bible tells us. And nature is out of its normal course. We can see that. That's signs of the end. Okay. that nature's out of its course. But here, in its original state, it wasn't out of its course. It was in its perfection of what the Father had created it to be. And the thing is, of course, let's go to Isaiah chapter 65. Welcome back, Stephen Kelly. Let's go back to Isaiah chapter 65. Isaiah 65. And we're going to read Isaiah 65. And I'm going to begin at verse 17. We read this the other day, but again, this is a review of what is coming. We know where we are now. We're in a perverted situation on earth. Nature is out of its course because of sin. Isaiah chapter 65, beginning at verse 17 and going down to verse 19. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. So let's think about this. So he says, I create a new heavens and the new earth. The heavens are the firmament, right? That's what he called the heavens. And the earth is the land that comes out of the water, right? That's what he told us. So he's going to create it new. What does that mean? He's going to renew it. Does that make sense? Because it has been ruined by man. So he's going to renew it. That's right. He's going to cleanse it and renew it because it has been ruined because of man. Man has ruined it. Also, let's see. In book of Acts chapter 3, notice what it says, Acts chapter 3. I'm going to begin at verse 18, Acts chapter 3, from verse 18 down to verse 21. Now, the Messiah is the principal subject in this little discourse, but nature is also being mentioned here. This is Acts chapter 3 from verse 18 to verse 21. But those things which Yah before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets that Messiah should suffer, he hath so fulfilled. Repent ye therefore and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of Yahweh. And he shall send Messiah Yahushua, which before was preached unto you. Watch verse 21. Whom the heaven must receive until the times of restitution of all things, which Yah has spoken by the mouth of all his holy prophets since the world began. So he talks about a restitution. That means to restore. Does that make sense? So he's going to restore all things. Restore to what? You have to be restored to something. Well, restored to its original beauty. So that means when he says, I'm going to create a new heaven and a new earth, he's going to restore the heaven and this earth to its original beauty. That's right. Its original condition. It's going to be restored like the sin never happened. Like if you see like a crime scene and there's blood everywhere. Now they being officials, or government officials in power, have the ability to restore the scene to what it was as if the crime never took place. You guys know what I'm talking about? So somebody gets their brains blown out and blood is all over the place. It's all over the furniture. It's all over the floor. It's all over the place. You can get a team to come in there. A team could come in there and clean it up so that when you walk into the room, you will never know that blood was everywhere. So now Father is going to do that to the planet Earth. Man and his sin and Asatan has marred planet Earth. They have ruined it. We have all ruined it. He's going to first destroy them that destroy the earth. And then he's going to have, as the Bible just tells us here, a restitution of all things. So he's going to restore what the earth was, so that when we are looking upon it, as Isaiah told us, the former shall not be remembered nor come to mind. Right? So if you saw a crime scene and they clean it up, if you had seen the place before, you would never know it was the same place, because it didn't look like anything happened. It's been restored. So he's going to do to the planet. He's going to restore all things, the heavens, the firmament, and the earth. He's going to restore all things so that it will look like it never happened. And he said, the former shall not be remembered nor come to mind. So that only way we're going to know what happened is, first of all, we're going to see the judgment and destruction of the wicked. We're going to see it. And we're going to see the marks on Messiah, the wounds that show what took place. Other than that, the rest of the creation, the seasons, the stars, the firmament, the earth, us, you will never know that anything happened. And all of the ugly things that the saints that are in the kingdom had to go through, they won't remember any of it. They'll know they went through something, but exactly what, they won't remember. They'll know they've been restored and redeemed from it, but it will never hurt them again. That's beautiful. So that the mind will be erased from any ugliness that took place. And you'll be back to the Edenic innocence that we had before. Praise the Most High. Okay. Now, back to Genesis. We're looking at the fifth day, which is the living creatures, the fifth day of creation of the Father, which is the living creatures. This is Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1. And we're going to begin at verse 20. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 20. And Yah said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that have life, and fowl, that they may fly above the earth in the open firmament of the heaven. This is beautiful, man. So again, you can see, in fact, I think, can we agree that in every day of creation so far, water is involved? Did you guys notice that? In every day of creation, this is the first time I'm noticing it though, but you notice that? So the water started, it started with water, right? He created water. And then his spirit moves on the water. And he created darkness and light and differentiated it over the water. The second day, he created the firmament. And he created firmament and divided the heaven from the earth in the firmament. And he moved water above us and water beneath us. Right? Then the third day, he brought vegetation out of the water. He brought vegetation, he brought grass, he brought land, he brought trees and fruit and greenery out of the vegetation, out of the water. He said, and then he separated land from the water, and he made the water bunch up and call it seas, and he made the earth, the land. So now we're kind of in a bubble, right? Like almost like what do you call that? What's that thing? What is that thing called when you have that? it's like a glass thing, and you can have animals in it, and it's like a bubble, right? We kind of have that, right? But anyway, he did that the third day. Then the fourth day, he put lights in the water. He said, he put lights in the firmament, and he let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven. So he put lights in the water. All right, a globe, right? A snow globe. That's right, superstar. A snow globe. He put lights in the water, in the heaven. So the water again. That was the fourth day. And then the fifth day, he said, I'm going to bring living creatures into the water, and I'm going to have fowl that fly in the firmament. The fowl fly between the waters. He seems to be marking things by the water. Yeah, this shows you how important water is, isn't it? Without water, we die. Because we can't live without air either. Right? Air is, the science has discovered, air is oxygen. Water is also made of oxygen, right? He made us to be able to breathe. Of course, some animals can breathe under the water, right? And some animals cannot. Animals that can't breathe under the water will drown. But there's animals that can breathe under the water. There's animals that can breathe above the water and in the water. Right now, the way we are, we can't breathe under the water. We can breathe outside the water. Yep, our body is made up of a lot of water. Our blood is made up of a lot of water. And in fact, I think Sister Violet, our resident health practitioner, can tell us part of our health depends on clean blood. And part of our clean blood depends on clean water. So we must keep our blood clean. And if we don't keep our blood clean, we can't have good blood, which would now bring disease. So we need clean blood, pure blood, as much as possible. So all of the medical things that people use, natural things they use to start to heal themselves of disease, the purpose is to create good blood. And if you can create good blood, you can be healed. But to create good blood, you need your blood to have fresh water. Right? Isn't it amazing? I mean, it is amazing, isn't it? That's what the Father did when he created us. So verse 20, Genesis chapter 1, verse 20. And Yahweh said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that hath life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the open firmament of the heaven. So there's the open firmament. That's the spot between the firmament at the top and the earth. That's the open firmament of the heaven. Praise the Most High. And Yah created great whales and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Yah saw that it was good. So he made things after their kind. He made things after their kind. Now, some people, he said he makes humans after their kind. I don't agree with that. We do know that humans have, because of separation of different spots of the earth, we do have people that are more aligned with our kind, but originally there was just one humankind. Originally, there was just one humankind. Adam, everything comes from Adam, and that's the humankind. And the woman, Eve, which we will see, she was made out of the mankind, after her kind. So you have animals. Whales were mentioned after their kind, different types of whales that are related after their kind. You have birds, different types of birds that are related after their kind. And the two kinds don't really mix. So you have blue jays, and they are with blue jays. You have doves, they are with doves. You have ravens, they are with ravens. You have all the different birds with their kind. The birds don't mix kinds. And again, I'm not trying to make this anything racial or anything like that. I do have a point though, so bear with me. But blue jays do not mix with ravens, right? Blue jays do not mix with ravens. Okay. Cardinals do not mix with blue jays. Parakeets do not mix with pigeons. They are naturally with their kind. What does that mean to us today in terms of human beings? Let me tell you what it does not mean. I mean, it's natural. For example, a man went to the Philippines and he married a Filipina. But he admitted in her natural state, the Filipina would rather marry a Filipino. If you ask them, they'd rather be with somebody close to their kind. And I think it's like that for most people. I don't say everybody about anything, right? But I think you will agree the majority of people are more comfortable with their kind. Is that correct? Right? So if you were to go to Iran, most Iranians, the majority, are comfortable with other Iranians. If you were to go to Jamaica, for example, most people that are born and raised on the island of Jamaica are more comfortable with Jamaicans. Okay? But let's take it deeper than that. When you know the Creator, who is your kind, when you are a follower of the Creator of the Most High of Israel, who is your kind? Your kind is not based on the geography of the earth. Your kind is based on your spirits. Does that make sense? The kind is now based on something above flesh and blood. It's based on spirits. You could have two Black people of the same kind, born and raised in the same area, of the same culture, and they should not be together sometimes. They're the two worst people, right? Sometimes they can be, I'm not saying all, please don't get it twisted, but they can be people that have no business being together ever, though they have the same kind in the flesh. Then you could have a Hebrew man from the United States and a Filipina born and raised in the Philippines, and they could be the same kind because their spirits are the same kind. Well, brethren, when we are followers of the Creator and we are seeking to bring honor and glory to his name by wearing his spirit, by walking in his spirit, by allowing him to possess us with his spirit, and by always acknowledging everything we do with his spirit, no matter what part of the earth two people come from, when that is in common, they are of the same kind. Does that make sense? And it's above the flesh. It's above the flesh. So that if we're looking to be mated, speaking in animal terms, so forgive me, but if we're looking to be mated with our kind, what are we looking for? We're looking for the one whose spirit can be mated with our spirit. And that spirit that we want mated with our spirit is of the Father. Right. But it's more than, it's right. It's a mind, but it's a spirit. It's a deeper spirit. So that, like I said, you could have two people that according to human race, which is a human construct, but according to their nations, more of a biblical construct, according to the nations they come from, whether it's Ham, Japhet, or Shem, you could have from different bloodlines, but they could be of the same kind based on the spirit. You could have the same bloodline, and you can be different spirits, not meant to be together. Because in these days in which you and I live, we cannot deal in flesh. Flesh appeals to us, and it's always going to. But that cannot be the basis of our decision. We have to allow the Father to bring us our kind. And we have to be prepared to be that kind. Every man that has any type of touch from the Father wants to be with a virtuous woman. Every man that wants to please the Father. And I'm not saying they should want that. I'm saying that is what they want. I'm not guessing either. If there's a brother that can disagree with me, go ahead and do that. But any brother that is seeking to please the Father wants a woman that is the virtuous woman, the Proverbs 31 woman. And any woman that is seeking to please the Father wants a man that is her protector, her provider, and her lover. She wants that. The problem is a lot of us brothers are not ready to be her kind. And a lot of sisters are not ready to be his kind. So that we have to be developed in the spirit by the Father so that we're prepared to be of the same kind. I've met people that it's a beautiful thing when you see a couple, and we've all seen them. There are not many these days, unfortunately, but you've seen couples that you know they belong together because they are of the same kind, because their spirits are aligned, like two birds that mate that are the same kind, and they're supposed to be together. I've seen couples that I've loved as brothers and sisters, and couples that I couldn't stand at all, or just didn't like them, but I couldn't deny in different instances that they're supposed to be together. They're the same kind. They were meant to be together. Okay, so those of you who are single and detached and would like to be attached, very basic. Number one, the Father will choose for you your kind. Number two, you must be prepared by the Father to receive your kind, because you may not be ready. Do not declare yourself ready, because by doing so, you've just declared yourself unready. Let me make sure I say that again, because it's very important. Do not ever declare yourself ready, because by so doing, you have declared yourself unready. Don't ever do that. You're not ready until the Father says you're ready. Not you. In all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Sometimes I can speak on my own personal behalf. I did not declare myself ready. I thought myself completely unready. And the Father said, this is her. I thought myself completely unready and wouldn't be ready for years, is the way I thought about it. And the Father said, this is her. And I've seen people say, I am ready, I'm ready. And I can tell by them saying that, no, you're not. It's like a person once said, I praise the Lord because this year I didn't sin. And the pastor said, you just sinned. I praise the Lord because I didn't sin. And the pastor said, you just sinned. I'm ready. Where's my spouse? You just showed you're not ready. So when we are supposed to be connected with a spouse, with a concubine or a wife or whatever it might be, we're supposed to be connected. The Father will show you when you are ready for your kind, and your kind is ready for you. Because he matches us, obviously, by our kind. Praise the Most High. We went a little deeper than we were intended on that, but hey, as the Father, he decided to do that, so we praise his name. Amen. We praise his name. So, verse 21. And Yah created, this is again Genesis 1:21, and Yah created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Yah saw that it was good. And Yah blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters with the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. So the Father set a word and said, be fruitful to the animals. He said, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. So after the flood, we live now in the post-flood era. Okay. We can see, I think we understand what, when somebody says this particular group of animals is in danger of becoming extinct. What does that mean? This particular group of animals or insects or whatever living creature it is in danger of becoming extinct. What does that mean? That means they're in danger of not multiplying enough to continue their existence. And most of the time, in fact, I would say all of the time, when you see an animal that is in danger of extinction, man has something to do with it. Either by marring their environment in some way or just straight killing them for something. For example, there was elephants in danger of extinction. Why? Because men would kill the elephants to get their tusks, because their tusks were made of pure ivory. And so they would kill the animal to get the tusks, and they killed so many of them that they weren't being able to multiply enough to catch up. And they were going extinct. Versus, there is no danger of extinction of deer. And Akawambanya can testify, there's no danger of extinction of deer in Michigan, is there? Because they multiply so much that man is allowed to, they have a hunting season to try to keep the population under control. Otherwise, they would just go crazy in population. So they are not in danger of going extinct. But there are tigers whose lives have been taken because of the beauty of their coats being made for skins of rugs and such, that are in danger of becoming extinct. So that generally, anytime any animal is in danger of extinction, anytime there's an imbalance in nature, it causes an extinction situation. The imbalance can be caused by pollution of the water, pollution of the sky. The imbalance can be caused by death of certain insects. You see, you can kill the most minute insects. You can get rid of them. But by doing that, you're causing a food source of another animal, which is the food source of another animal. You're causing that kind of problem, an imbalance. Right now, there's all kinds of imbalances on planet Earth. There's imbalances starting with insects, starting with bees. Have y'all heard of that? There's imbalances starting with bees. And man has mixed different species of bees, and some of them have gone crazy and attacked other things, and they are created an imbalance. That's just one area. Then, of course, there's the melting of the polar ice cap that's causing all kinds of problems in the ocean and all kinds of problems in nature. Nature is getting imbalanced because of sin and man. It's getting imbalanced. You're seeing extinction level events, not to try to quote a movie, but you're seeing extinction level events happening. You're seeing nature burning itself up or flooding itself. You're seeing animals that are not being able, that were supposed to be edible for us to eat, fish that you can no longer trust. So bad is it sometimes that what men have done is they created farms for the fish, and you don't even want to eat the farm-raised fish because they put poison. They supposed to be making healthy fish, and they make it with antibiotics and all kind of stuff, and you can't even eat that. But that's their response to creating extinction. And brethren, you and I know this is happening on multiple fronts, multiple animals from multiple areas, animals under the water, animals above the water, birds, animals that roam on land, the weather itself. All of us are being affected. There was a time I thought I could just eat fruit and be healthy. But now, because of the mixing of the different seeds of the fruits, because of the mixing of an experimentation where they're making them more filled with sugar, I can't eat it. It's messed up. And now we have shifted in my house, we've shifted to more animal-based products that are organic, that they can, at least they say they're grass-fed, they're grown with organic feed, and that's the best we could do. Organic vegetables, organic fruits, organic meat, organic grass-fed eggs from grass-fed hens. You got to try to make sure you get that if you can afford it, because they make it. The other day, man, I bought a thing of organic butter. 4 sticks that come in a package was $8. 4 sticks of butter, $8. Yeah, but that's because they are, you get regular butter. Where are you getting it from? You're getting it from cows that have been eating GMO and antibiotics, and that's in the butter. So you try to get the organic butter that's promised. They don't feed them that stuff, but then they charge you astronomical money for the stuff that they're claiming is healthy. Yes, it's not long, brethren. Just nature is telling us, between the extinctions, the pollutions, the poisons, it's, and we're doing, everybody, like I look on YouTube and there's channels upon channels dedicated to various, people trying to find answers to stay healthy. There's the ketogenic diet. There's the fruitarian diet. There's a vegetarian vegan diet. There's the carnivore diet. People are trying various things to stay healthy. And why? Because things keep changing. It's not like, it's not like these things have been here all along. Things have been changing and people are adapting based on the new changes. It was back in the 60s, 70s. My family was into veganism. Back then, my aunt moved from Jamaica to Miami. And I said, Aunt Vin, why are you moving to Miami? She said, because the fruits grow in abundance. and they did. You could get fruit. At that time in Miami, it wasn't as crowded as it is now. And you could get mangoes and star apples and everything you wanted in abundance, just growing on its own. And it was natural, growing in people's yards. Well, it's not like that anymore. Okay, it's not. It's changed. Like I said, there's so much sugar in this stuff, it'll kill you. It's amazing, isn't it? And you got to adapt to the new environments. You got to adapt. They used to think, if you ate butter, you'd be sick. But now butter is one of the healthiest things to eat. It's because of everything changing. and people trying to survive and try to adapt based on the current changes in the environment. Brethren, it's almost over. It's almost over. Okay, it's almost over, man. It's where we at. It's almost over. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, it used to just grow and you could get like, I remember once we found a star apple tree, and it was, you know, the star apple, I haven't seen a star apple in a long time, but this, we just found it in Miami in a park. And I said, look what it was, star apple. And it was so sweet. It just grew there. We was in elementary school, and this man had a big giant mango tree, and the mangoes was so heavy on the tree, they just fall off into the schoolyard. We just pick them up and eat them. But you can't do that anymore. That was 50 years ago. Can't do that anymore. It's different now. Okay, it's different now. Everything is different. You still have parts of the world where you have some stuff, obviously, that are better than others. But let me tell you something. It's changing. All changing. All the time. Getting worse. Because sin is proliferating. Extinction level stuff is proliferating. And man is trying to counter it. And in his counter, all he's doing is adding more poison to us and trying to help us. Like I said, you look at the farm-raised fish, that was created so that you don't have to go into the ocean and get it, because the ocean is supposed to be unhealthy. But the farm-raised fish is worse. You don't want the farm-raised fish. You want the wild caught. You don't want the farm-raised. And the wild caught, as dangerous as it is healthier than the farm-raised. Isn't that crazy? But that's how it is. That's how it is. When we first stopped eating meat a long time ago, we're not vegans now, but we used to be vegans. My wife and I were vegans for more parts of our marriage than not. We used to get this stuff called veggie meat. Y'all ever heard of veggie meat? Veggie meat is vegetable protein that's made to taste like it was flesh. But it's because it's vegetable protein, we all thought it was healthy. And it's the worst thing for you. It's made out of hydrolyzed protein, crystallized protein in soybeans. It is the worst thing for you. But they were trying to create it so that you would stay vegan. And it's the worst thing for you. It's not good for you at all. Better that you should really just eat the regular meat than eat that. After all, we used to call it the image to the beast meat. Because it was the image to the meat. But it was worse for you. Better to eat, really, it's better to eat regular organic chicken than to eat hydrolyzed meat chicken. And that's how, but the point is, they being people were trying to create something that they thought was going to be healthy, or that they made you think was going to be healthy because of the unhealthiness of what they told you. Like the meat was unhealthy, so we're going to make this fake meat and it's going to be healthy. Brethren, I'm going to tell you right now, be careful whenever man says they're improving something that was in nature that's no longer good because they've messed up nature, and they say, okay, we're going to clone this, or we're going to create this. Brethren, you already know. You already know how that's going to flow. You already know. Okay. Yep. That's right, Diamond Holdings. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. I had a friend of mine. He was from Ethiopia, and he went from Ethiopia to Norway, and from Norway to the United States. So he left Ethiopia. He said he weighed about 160 pounds or something, slim, healthy young man. Went to Norway and pretty much stayed the same. He came to the United States, and he said he was eating the same cultural Ethiopian foods in the United States that he ate both in Norway with the population of Ethiopians there, and of course in Ethiopia. And he said when he came to the United States and he was eating the same cultural foods, but now eating them in the United States, he gained 40 pounds, and it was all fat. He just blew up. eating the same foods. You understand, brethren? No, my aunt did it when she came to Miami. She planted a mango tree, banana tree, orange trees, avocado. She planted in her little yard. She planted all that stuff was growing back there, man. She planted it right back there. So, and that was back 40 years ago. I'm telling you, bless her. She died. My aunt was 105 years old when she died, and she was healthy. She died. She went to my cousin's room, says, time for me to go to the hospital. And she died just a few weeks later. She knew it was her time, but 105. Yeah, see? So, brethren, what we see here, what he made, and he said, Yah said, bring forth abundantly. That was the intent for planet Earth. The fact that you see that it's not like that anymore, that people are destroying the planet for profit, and people are destroying the planet for greed, and people are destroying it because they just do. That's why, let's finish with this one, Revelation chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12. Revelation chapter 12. No, Revelation chapter 11. Revelation chapter 11, the seventh trumpet. Revelation chapter 11. Watch this. Revelation chapter 11 from verse 15 to verse 19. Revelation chapter 11. This is the seventh trumpet, which we are about to hit in just a few years. Revelation chapter 11 from verse 15 to verse 19. And the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Most High and of his Messiah, and he shall reign forever and ever. And the 24 elders which sat before Yahweh on their seats fell upon their faces and worshipped Yahweh, saying, we give thee thanks, O Yahweh al Shaddai, which art and wast and art to come. Because thou hast taken to thee thy great power and hast reigned, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. See, he created it. He said, I made it. It was very good. He said, bring forth and multiply more like I just made. And now you're making stuff extinct. You're making it polluted. You're making it poison. He said he's going to destroy them which destroy the earth. And the temple of Yahweh was opened in heaven. And there was seen in his temple the ark of his testament. And there were lightnings and voices and thunderings and an earthquake and great hail. Yes. The last thing seen is the ark of the covenant. That's the last thing seen before it's destroyed. The ark of the covenant is the last thing standing. Praise the Most High. The ark of the covenant. But he's going to destroy them which destroy the earth. It's all coming to its head, brethren. You can see it. It's all coming to its head. It's all moving toward that end part that the Father already knew from before he created the earth. And he's going to restore all things to their original beauty. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Well, that was the fifth day. And I'm glad we just spent the fifth day on this second time, the second point here today, because I want the sixth day for man to be by itself, because man is the crowning achievement of Father Yah. So we'll save that one for later, okay? But for now, let's finish here. May the Most High bless you and keep you. And may he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Brethren, let's keep praying for each other as a nation. And let us keep seeking our Father for his glory. Shalom.